It's a different type of a challenge for the Golden State Warriors. 5 years in San Francisco, hosting the NBA Finals. However, for the third consecutive year, looking for an NBA championship, they will have to go with the challenge of not only being down 2-1 in the series, but also being down players. The question was, how about the status of KD and Klay?
So Klay will plan on playing tomorrow, so we expect him to play, barring something unforeseen. He's continued to improve, and so that's good news. Kevin will not play tomorrow. He will continue to get treatment and get on the court and continue to work, but will be unavailable for Game 4.
My body feels really good, and just that extra night of rest really helped. And I just can't wait to get out here tomorrow. Once the game starts and and I feel the crowd and the energy, yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we welcome you on set here outside of Oracle Arena, and it is Game Time live at the Finals, presented by YouTube TV. Casey Stern, DZ B. Wood. And guys, when you sit there and you think about, obviously, the nature of the questions after Game 3, yes, they were about the injuries. We'll have a lot more on that coming up in a bit. But they also were about the event that happened with Kyle Lowry yesterday with a fan. And we take a look at the video going back to yesterday. And look, when it first happened, I'm not sure necessarily people understood what was going on. But then afterwards, once we saw Kyle Lowry and the referee having a conversation, you saw him explaining what happened here. A couple of expletives dropped, and then a shove and a grab of the jersey, among other things. We didn't know at the time that it wasn't just a fan who had spent a lot of money in the front row to get seats. It was an investor and part minority owner, Mark Stevens. And therefore, the NBA and the Warriors had to act and react quickly. They did. Here's the statement, combined statement. Warriors investor Mark Stevens banned from attending NBA games. Warriors team activities 1 year, fined $500,000 pushing and directing obscene language towards Raptors Kyle Lowry during Game 3 of the Finals last night. Stevens ban effective immediately. It does carry through the 2019-2020 NBA season as well. We'll get into our reaction on that. First, let's hear from Kyle Lowry a day later.
The support I've gotten from fellow players, the league has been unbelievable. With that being said, you know, I think, you know, more should be done. You know, I don't think he's not a good look for the ownership group that they have, and I know Joe Lacob. Those guys are great guys. The ownership that they have, that I know, they're unbelievable guys. But a guy like that showing his true class, and he shouldn't be a part of our league.
All right, so Kyle Lowry, obviously, with his statements, and look, you have $500,000, a lot of money. At the same time, you talk about what this man is worth, and it seems different. There's also no amount of money that is giving you the idea of it being equal value to your own presence, your dignity, and really your person, in terms of being able to understand for a safety perspective, and also just in terms of your own care, what you're going to be dealing with as an athlete. And when you look at 1 year, are you surprised that you don't see full-blown, hey, look, immediately, this guy's never going to be allowed in an arena again? What's going to happen in the next year? Commissioner Silver saying, 3D, that, hey, look, there wasn't a blemish on his record, but I'm not sure, do you need a blemish on your record when you have something that is this out front as it was last night?
Yeah, I agree with you, Casey. You don't need a blemish on your record, and I think Kyle said it best. It gave us a chance on who this person was in that moment. How do we do our jobs, B. Wood, where that was a clean trying to save, the ball hit Mark Davis, the ball's out of bounds? Like you said, Casey, an average regular fan, you might say, oh, well, this person may be, give him a pass, he won some tickets. But when you find out it's a part of an owner that sets the precedent, that sets, you know, the culture as owners, so to speak, how to handle yourself, B. Wood, that's when I'm like, I go back to your question. Yes, he needs to be removed as the ownership and let someone take that spot.
Yeah, I think that he definitely needs to be removed. You can't have somebody representing your organization like this. Golden State has always been a first-class organization. That's because they have first-class people here. You can't say that and then allow somebody like this to be a part of the ownership group. I'm not sure what the guy's name was in Utah. They got into it with Russell Westbrook, but he was banned for life and can no longer come into the building in Utah. I think something similar should have happened in this situation. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this. Adam Silver's a great commissioner. He's normally spot on, and we might see some more punishment, or we might even see something from Golden State themselves where they just say, listen, we can't be affiliated with this guy anymore. But I think that's the road that we're heading down. This is a nice start. You know, it's a nice start. The one-year ban, that's a nice start, but we're going to have to continue it because we don't really need to see this guy in the NBA arena anymore.
You know, there's two ways of looking at it. One, I think as was mentioned a lot during media availability, it's unfortunate, guys, the cloud that it puts over the finals, the Raptors as a franchise, which we'll talk about a lot here in Game Time, being 2 wins away. But I'll take it the other way to kind of, at least as we put a bow on this for this show, putting a positive spin on it. The way Kyle handled it from an athlete standpoint, the way that Warriors players who are playing, look, the theory of competition, we know what it's like at a finals level. You guys know. I mean, we're talking about a champion type of compete level now, but still the Warriors saying good things about Kyle, talking about they were happy that he was okay, that they were glad that it was him because of the classy way he handled himself. Guys like LeBron out in front. I think it again showed the fraternity of players in the NBA, which, look, again, for the most part, everything involved in the association, including its owners, not only reputable, but also handling themselves with class.
Very, very happy and proud for Kyle, how he handled it. We talked about earlier, when you go to the games, we're used to fans saying and doing whatever for the most part. But once you put your hands on someone, now you cross that line. And like Kyle said in the presser, I'm thinking about my kids, I'm thinking about my family, I kept my cool, so very proud of him for that.
Definitely very proud of Kyle and the way he was able to handle things. He was a true professional. Like I said, in that situation, I'm not sure how I would have handled it. I would have got very feisty in that situation. I'm sure you probably would have as well. So it just shows the lack of, it shows the amount of restraint that Kyle has and the true professional, the true person he is. He showed his true colors in a time of absolute controversy. We will,
And look, there's been a lot of controversy in terms of how the Warriors can play with and without some of their injured players. We'll break that down, get both sides on this show, and then continue to lead up coming up on Friday as we talk pregame for game number 5, an opportunity, or game number 4, excuse me, opportunity for Kenny Smith and his sit down with Kyle Lowry on the basketball end of things.
Kawhi is an unbelievable guy. His demeanor, his focus, and just how he stays level the whole time. And it's been like this all year. He gets between these 4, it's all that matters.
Did any of that rub off on you?
I think they rubbed out on the whole team. With Kawhi, it's kind of, he just brought this, and I think it's Kawhi, Danny, Marc Gasol, Nick Nurse, is kind of that, listen, we're just going to keep working. We're never going to get up, we're never going to get down. We're worried about, the next game, the next moment. It's rubbed off on me a lot, and it's helped me a lot just kind of